some musicians have made a bigger impact on human history than others have. So I chose a handful of musicians to put in what I classify to be the Music Hall of Fame, and I have references to their songs and what they did in their life in this poem. So hope you enjoy. All throughout human history, people have been playing music using instruments like drums and guitars, electric and acoustic, but some have earned their spot in the Music Hall of Fame, the best throughout our time, the best players in the game. First comes Elvis Presley. The dude had soul. Music was so popular they called him the king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley was the best, man. He always excelled, had so many women, he had to put some in the Heartbreak Hotel. He had so many songs with loving monologues. He was the best, while the others ain't nothing but hound dogs. Alright, let's move on to the next player on the list. This one is dubbed the King of Pop, the greatest to exist. Yeah, it's Michael Jackson, the soul singing sensation. Insisted it wasn't his kid, no Billie Jean relation. Michael Jackson, the GOAT, the bad, smooth criminal. Lyrics unforgettable, almost like they mythical. MJ dreamed of Neverland, he wished it wasn't fictional. Moonwalked so intense, he called it a thriller. Man on the mic and the man in the mirror. Yeah, 'cause when I'm rhyming, I'm in my zone. Never coming up and fumbling the microphone. No, I take it and belt out like I'm Nina Simone. Rock music or rocks like the Rolling Stones, or the song by Bob Dylan called Like a Rolling Stone. Speaking of Bob Dylan, his voice was kind of weird, like when he wrote and sang that song and said, "How does it feel?" But that's okay because Bob Dylan is still one of the best, even if his singing isn't as good as the rest. The next band on this list had Egomania, but who can blame them when the whole world had Beatlemania? So cheers to the band that gave us some dope rhymes, known as the Beatles, the most famous band of all time. And I'm really glad that you could make it to this poetry session because these rhymes are super hot like they written by John Lennon. Yeah, my poetry has flow and my poetry has bars. My poetry has rhythm like I'm Ringo Starr. And their music was smooth, music kind of artsy, smooth and artsy like I'm Paul McCartney. First they blew up in England and then came to America. The three I mentioned before, along with George Harrison. Yeah, they showed up to America and pulled up on the scene and then went deep, kind of like a yellow submarine. But now the Beatles are kind of old, so here's some retrospection. Some say the Beatles of today are known as One Direction, making the girls go wild, making the girls feel eager, making the ladies scream like my name is Justin Bieber. And I also want to talk about a band that pulled up on the scene and changed the rock industry, the band named Queen. Say they ain't the best, and I'll say blasphemy. How can one not appreciate Bohemian Rhapsody? They also said, "We are the champions and we will rock you." They're one of the best of all time from my point of view. Also want to talk about a guy that changed the rap game, Eminem, known as Rap God, his claim to fame. The reason I love him so much is he proves people wrong. Like when they say you can't rhyme with orange, so he wrote a whole song where he said you could have a 4-inch door hinge colored orange in a foreign country with a syringe while I infringe on your rights with his rhyme list. Wow, that's insane. His lyrics are crazy. But what more do you expect from my man Slim Shady? And I know there are plenty of musicians I didn't mention, but the poem's getting kind of long and I don't want to lose your attention. So on that note, I'll sign off and leave you with these names of some of the musicians who made it in the Music Hall of Fame.